All right, everybody, welcome. This is the Fierce Fit Pride and Wildflower Tribe. I like how that rhymes. Do you like that? I really like that. I think it's extra fancy. Team call. And it's Tuesday, April 12th. And tonight's team call topic is on creatively crafting visual content. Um, and so let's just dive right in. Outside of being walking, talking, breathing business cards for our businesses, and when we socialize with others and share our experiences and our journeys with others organically in conversation, aside from that, we know that our businesses are in large part built through social media. So we need to make sure that not only is the content we're sharing on point and engaging and full of value, but we need to make sure that the imagery we're using is aesthetically appeasing to the eye. And if you think about it, and you can all probably speak from experience, we are all bombarded, just like completely assaulted on social media every single day with all kinds of different images. And we need to be aware of this and know that in order to grab somebody's attention and encourage them to read what we have to share, we need to be able to stop someone's scroll. So how do we do this? We do this with eye-catching images. And original images at that. So not the stock photos, which is something that we've talked about in the past. It's something that you're probably learning right around this time in your Coach Academy. I know that Kelly and I are pretty much on the same schedule with our Coach Academies, and right around now we're talking about social media. And you want to make sure that you're not just like going to Google and typing in Google images like something that you want. You want to share something like that's a motivational quote or a meme every now and then. That's totally fine. We've all done that, sure. But I wouldn't make it your go-to every day. If you want to share something inspirational, we always say, share you. Rather than sharing a quote or a meme that you get off of Google Images, find a quote or a meme that speaks to you, that speaks to how you're feeling, that maybe speaks to a message that you're trying to relay to your audience, and then create your own version of that image or message through the text content that you share and through the image that you're going to use to captivate your audience's attention as well. And there are all kinds of tools and websites that you can use to help you in the creativity department when it comes to making your own images or banners to share upcoming events and groups, etc. There are just so many resources other than the apps that you probably have on your phone. And this is something to be excited about. It's no need to feel overwhelmed or defeated before you get started. Expressing your creativity is meant to be fun. And over time, you'll develop a unique style that will help you to ultimately brand yourself. It's likely that you'll find favorite fonts, favorite colors, and backgrounds that you like to use more than others, specific templates, and whatnot. And as I said, it's a really great way to begin branding yourself creatively. So tonight we're going to share a few different websites and resources that you can use to help you with creating eye-catching, scroll-stopping content. And I'm going to pass it over to Kelly. She's going to talk to you about Canva. I always think of Kelly as the Canva expert. So she's going to walk you through a simple tutorial on some of the things that you can use on Canva.
Okay, so let me get started and share my screen here. Hang on. Okay, can you see me? Perfect. Okay, so I'm just gonna open it up here. I have Canva Actually, before I get started in this really quickly, I'm just curious, how many of you use Canva? Can you just raise your hand if you do, or if you have before? Okay. And how comfortable would you say you are? Like, raise your hand if you're super comfortable, or you can do like mediocre or thumbs down. Okay. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna go through some basics that I use pretty regularly. I don't know, so I'll just get started. I'm gonna go through the basics and then maybe a couple things that you guys aren't aware of that I've recently discovered. But when I first got started, I didn't have a ton of time and I didn't realize that I love design as much as I do. I used to always use the templates here. You can click on more and you can see tons and tons of different designs for whatever it is you want to do. Keeping in mind that just because it says it's for a certain thing, you don't have to use it for that thing. And I found that what works for me as well is just spicing it up, like using YouTube channel art, for example, has different template options in there than some of the ones that are maybe overdone or you've seen before on Facebook, because people maybe always use the social media ones or Facebook ones or whatever. A few exceptions are maybe these document types because they maybe wouldn't upload because of the large format, but for the most part, they all work just fine on any social media site. Wow, I just realized that I'm like really nervous because we have like a graphic designer on this phone call judging me right now. Anyway, Dakota. Anyway, I'm gonna carry on. But you can certainly, jump in since you're the expert, not me. But here you go. So these are all the templates you can use. I definitely tend to go towards either photo collage because to me, I think pictures speak louder than a lot of words when I'm using Facebook. Just if I'm doing something on my personal page to promote a challenge group or a coach opportunity, I definitely go the creative route with the photos. And then if I'm doing something for the challenge group, I just really hit social media or Facebook posts most of the time and just add some lettering in, which I'll walk you through really quickly. But let's just use this as an example first. So if you were to choose a format here, really simple, it already looks professional. There are tons of free options here, or you can go into, you'll see they're all free. This one has a $sign down here. That means it costs $1. And so what I do a lot of times, and I feel like people have asked me for a while, like, how does your stuff look so great? And guys, I swear I don't do anything crazy. I really just, for the most part, use a lot of what these photos are the templates are already set up for. So like these are photos that I've already uploaded. You actually have folders as well down here, or up here. Uploads here. So I can organize them and go into here. That's on my to-do list. I've organized other things, but not this yet. So unfortunately, it still looks kind of crazy. But you can, so for example, you'll just drag a picture in, and you can drag in a background, and you can drag in whatever you want. It's super easy. So let's say I was doing a giveaway. I can do typing it in. This here is where you would select the font that you could change it to. Really, really easy. You can get rid of things just by highlighting the whole box. You can move it around. You could turn it. You can delete the whole thing if you just want to say giveaway. And you can bring other things in if you don't like that at all. And those can go into different boxes as well. So it's really, really easy to create content that looks great without putting a lot of time into it. And this is just, these are the things that I use most of the time. When I first started, I just did this all the time. Now I'm kind of updating images as I go and making my own because I've learned different things. But this is honestly all I ever did to get started. And then you could change the filters by just clicking the image and hitting filter. And you could intensify it how you want. You can change all of the filters here. I'm going to take a quick time out to look at you guys again, but is this all stuff that you know or don't know? Don't know? Okay. Okay, cool. So I will continue on. Uh-oh. No. Why did that happen to me again? Okay, back in action. Okay, so that is the first way that I do a lot of my designs. The second thing that I wanted to show you is, so let's say you didn't want to use a template and you just wanted to go into Facebook post. You can do that too. But just, you know, I definitely recommend just starting with the templates and dragging your own photos in and then updating the fonts how you see fit. And then, but if you did want to, you can start from scratch. You can bring in a background of your own, or you could just select background. Here are all the different colors you could update them with. But I just, you know, have my own images. And I want to just say that one of the things that has proved to be so awesome for me has been the realization that I could snapshot everything. So what I do a lot of times is type, you know, Katie Cry, or that's a bad example. No, it's not. You know, I type a name over here. Did I spell your name wrong? Or am I good? I always mix up the E and I. Okay, so then I select Command, Shift, and 4, and I would highlight over her name. So I took a snapshot of just her name and a font that I like. And then you would select, this is for any image. If it's on your computer, you can do this. You select Upload Image, and then I have the name over here, and then I have her name here. So, you know, I take my photos, I upload them, and I'll show you just another example of just something on my desktop. It'll just load here, and then you're good to go. And you can space them out. There's also different shapes. So if you want to put in a frame, you would be able to do that, and then you could drag the picture into the frame. So there's just a bunch of different options if you wanted to put the photo, you know, for example, into a round and then a different photo. Look, there's so many things that you can do with just simply dragging them in. Adding different text. Again, the font options are all here.
I have a question for you, Kelly.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you do any of this on your phone?
You can't with Canva. Who's asking that question?
Brenna.
Brenna.
I just literally do everything on my phone, so I love all of this, but like most of my content is from my phone.
Yeah, no, this one I wouldn't recommend doing on your phone. I'm not even sure if you can, but I think PicMonkey and Canva, which are both of the ones that we're going over tonight, can't be done on your phone, but they're absolutely like Rona, I feel like, is a great one if you're doing it all on your phone, because you can add text and images. So
and I'm also going to be sharing a bunch of apps in the Coach Academy, I think tomorrow. I think that's tomorrow. So I'll be sharing more apps that you can use on your phone tomorrow.
You should tag me in that.
Okay.
And Meg, I want to save time for everything you want to go over too, but I just want to share one more thing.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like this is helpful, or am I going too fast? Like, okay, it is. Good, perfect. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the main page, because this is something that I find incredibly time saving too. I guess I didn't have to do that again. I have all of my posts that I've ever created right here. And recently I have put all of my folders here, and I'm organizing them so that they are actually here on this website and not on my computer but they're here for me. So what I can do with that, so for example, let's say I have this one under team templates, right? It's a welcome. Actually, sorry, I'm gonna go back. I can go over here to this down arrow and select make a copy. And now I have a copy of that one that I can rename. And so now I don't have to do a whole new creation for this. I can just edit it and put a new name in and then go back to my pictures. And if this was actually organized, I would be able to easily even access everyone's photos too, so that I could just drag in a new face and then my image is good to go. So that is something that has been just incredibly time saving for me. And then, like I said, also the different fonts. And I'll really quickly go into one that I've been using a lot, because I know Meg has, we have found another one too that we use a lot, and the other one is free, so you guys might be more drawn to that. But Creative Market has been really cool for me lately, and it's where I found a lot of my backgrounds where the quality is a little bit better. But you can go onto this and find so many different packages of fonts and pictures, and like these are where you see like the desk setups and whatnot. And then this is all available to purchase, where you can download it and use them and drag them into your posts too. And so that is where I found a bunch of fonts that I liked, and I uploaded them in here, and they're all here. And I've been doing this a lot where I, type in my thing and I highlight it and then I upload it in so I could get fonts that kind of pop out that people aren't used to seeing, because these are kind of funky new fonts that I have. Yeah, so those are really the basics. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I was thinking of going over. The filters, guys, are huge. Like just playing around with the filters, highlighting it over so you see the box around it, selecting filter, and then being able to go through and change it just to make it pop a little bit more is just, it's going to make all the difference in your post and make them stand out a little more. And then you can even do this, and I think personally PicMonkey is a little bit better for just using, if you just wanted to edit a picture, like, and the picture is the main source. That's why I kind of go back and forth, because I use PicMonkey for that reason. But you can, if you wanted to, stretch it out into this canvas as well and do the same thing and just select filter and go through and change it up. So, and same deal, put your words on top or do your image on your words here. So that's it. I mean, that's kind of the short rundown of how it works. And, you'll have this as a reference, because I know that was kind of quick for those of you who aren't familiar with it at all. But I'll let Meg go ahead and dive into PicMonkey.
Okie doke. Thanks, Kelly. That was awesome. I learned some stuff from that. So I'm excited to try out some new stuff with, this is not what we're looking at right now. Okay, so PicMonkey. I'm the PicMonkey person. Kelly's the Canva person. One thing I like to start with, and I'll show you what I do, is I click on edit, and what I have here in my favorites folders is a folder called banner backgrounds. So any of you who follow me on social media probably know that I love glitter, I love polka dots, and I love wooden planks. So my boyfriend, as Kelly mentioned, is a graphic designer. So he's been able to help me out with giving me different wood plank templates in different colors. He just changes the colors in like Photoshop and whatnot. So one thing I like to start with is typically a wood plank picture, but you could, take like a Google image of something that you like, a background image that you like. And hold on one second. I'm just gonna see if I can, oh, no. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Yes.
How do you start with that as the picture? I know you just said this, but that's what, like, is that available in the free version?
No, this is my image.
No, but I mean, if you have that image,
yes,
like whenever I do it, it lets me only do it as like different.
You just go to edit,
Okay.
And then you pick up a picture off of your computer.
Oh, instead of going to layout.
Yeah, I don't
And
do
then it'll
layout.
let you add other pictures on top?
Yes, so I'll
Okay.
show you that now.
Okay, thanks.
So, yep. So I just want to make sure I get it down. My pad is like so touchy here. So how I add other pictures on top of this picture. I use this little butterfly feature. It's overlays, and I choose your own. And this is where I get to add my other overlays on top. So sometimes I'll pick glitter. A lot of the time I'll pick glitter. You can turn it around. As Kelly said, this is really good for just like editing images and like getting fancy with your own stuff, basically. And other features that I use, I pay for my PicMonkey account because it's like peanuts. It's like $4 something a month, and it just gives me access to some fancier fonts. And so, you know, you can add text. I'll put it over here. I like to click on effects because it gives it a drop shadow. But I find that that's the other like annoying thing about PicMonkey is that you like can't click on stuff once you've put something over it. So I find that if I'm going to do a drop shadow, I like to do it on top of a color and make the font white because it stands out more. So I use all kinds of fancy text. And like I said, I use that drop shadow feature. You can do different frames in PicMonkey. So just boop, boop. This, hold on. Just gonna give it a quick, so because this picture is on top of where the frame would go, you're not going to see the frame on this side, but you get the idea. You can use frames in PicMonkey. The other thing I like to use, some of these fancier overlays for, you know, just fancy effect. And you can overlap things too. So let's say you wanted your name to be on top of this image, you would just right click on the text and click bring to front so that it comes, this is being really slow right now, bring to front.
And Canva does that too. I forgot.
Okay.
But you can
Perfect.
you can bring things forward and back there too.
Yep. So that's one thing that you can do. Let's see here. There are different themes. So like Halloween time, when I'm making banners for, I don't know, a festive fall group, I might, you know, use these little stickers. So yeah, there are all kinds of cute stickers and banners and stuff that you can use. Other things that I like in the overlays as well, I like to use a lot of the arrows. You'll probably see arrows in some of my posts. I put sparkles on everything. My team knows this. There are sparkles on everything that I put in my challenge groups and also in a lot of my posts on social media. Banners, you could do this. And again, if you wanted your name to go over the banner, bring to front, and then bring it on top of the banner. When you have time, just play around with some of the features that are offered with PicMonkey because there are a lot of really cool overlays that you have access to. And you can change the color. You can make it sort of fade. One other thing I wanted to show you, I recently have been adding myself into a lot of my images. Fortunately, like I said, I have Dakota, and he's been able to erase the backgrounds of my photos that have me in them like in 2 seconds in Photoshop. But if you don't have Photoshop or a Dakota, here's how you can erase the background of your photo. You go into Eraser, and I make the eraser pretty big depending upon, you know, how big my photo is. And I just very carefully go around my body, my head, etc. And to get in the nooks and crannies of, you know, my outline, I'll make the eraser a little bit smaller. And one thing Kelly mentioned is, and I think this is very similar to the font that you were using, Kelly. I love it. This website, which is called 1001fonts.com. I shared this in my PS Coaches page the other week, I believe. So all you need to do is just type in whatever text you want to go onto the piece that you're making. So again, Meg Howe, I'll just keep using my name for the hell of it. And like Kelly said, Command-Shift-4 will allow you to highlight it and screenshot it so that when you go back into this, you can add your own, go to screenshot, and you know, you can adjust the size. So that's another way that you can use those fonts. So this is another example of like, these are my thumbnails for all of my Coach Academy videos. This is an overlay that I have for my team name, and this is a banner that I use, and I just fade it out a little bit. Again, I'm adding sparkle. I'm adding text over the banner, and this is actually an image that, like I said, Cody took the background out of the photo, so I didn't have to do all that erasing, which can be kind of time consuming if you're playing around with it enough. But so yeah, that's, I feel for the most part, you know, PicMonkey in a nutshell. There is this effects feature. I'm not like a huge fan of the filters on PicMonkey personally, but like, look, even just clicking on cross process, it gave me a totally different color for those wooden planks. It's sort of like more of a antique-y look. So there are, you know, different filters that you can use in PicMonkey as well. And, you know, you can just play around with that. And like I said, I do pay for my account, so I have access to a few more features. But there's a blemish fix. There's an airbrush. There are all kinds of fun little tools that you can use for, you know, your face if you want to do that. I actually haven't ever used any of these just because I feel like something would go terribly wrong trying to use one of these. And it would just be like too time consuming. You know, when you make these posts, you guys, you don't want to be spending like all your time on these posts. Once you get in the swing of things with one tool, you become like an avid user of that one tool because it's like second nature to you. You're like ready to rock the second you hop on it, and you have this vision in your mind of what you want to create, and it comes to you easily. Do not spend like a half hour, 45 minutes on creating a post, because that's time that can be better used somewhere else in this business. We all know that, but I just want to say that, you know, being that the topic of this call is to create, you know, awesome imagery, it's still important to remember that you're not pouring all your time into creating this stuff. So that's pretty much it. Let me see. Hold on. Stop share. We have 6 minutes. I don't know if anybody has any questions. Any questions or thoughts, anyone?
Just,
No.
I mean, anything that you have that you're wondering, like if you've seen and you're like wondering how to do that, or this is the time to ask. And like Meg said, I feel like a big mistake that, I mean, I definitely make and still make because I just really like it, is wasting too much time creating things. So don't let this consume you. Just, we wanted to share because I feel like we, I don't know, it's something that Meg and I both enjoy. And so, and it does help our posts stick out and I think a lot of people are attracted to good visuals. So I do think it's important to be able to know how to do this stuff in the future, just, to build your library of skill.
Agreed. One thing I want to say really quick is sometimes I use both Canva and PicMonkey. Kelly, I know you said that as well. But there are features that I like in Canva. So I'll use Canva for, a specific portion of, like I had a Pick Your Poison challenge group. And I created this much of my challenge group banner in Canva. And then I completed the rest of it in PicMonkey because I knew which features I wanted to use in PicMonkey.
Can you, like, super quickly, Meg, show them how to do the cover photo? I mean, it's pretty...
For this?
For, like, Facebook groups and, like, your event, like, if you want to change your page, this is where to go. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So here's what I do with Canva. Sorry. So I go to Facebook cover. And I don't use any of the images that they give you. So one thing you can do is you can type in grids. I'm not sure if this is what you were talking about, but this is what I do. And I just drag it in here, okay? And then I go to my uploads. And like I said, I'm a wooden plank lady. So maybe I want to put wooden planks in there. Then I go into text. I love the text that Canva has personally. I'm a huge fan of anything circles. So you've probably seen, if you follow me, like I said, this little bebop before. I love this one. So the fitness mixer. Boom. And then at this point, because honestly, like I said, I'm a PicMonkey person, I really like this circle thing. That's about it for me. So what I do is I would downloads, I save it to my desktop. And then what I would do personally, I don't want to do that. What I would do personally is I would go into PicMonkey, open it up in PicMonkey, and maybe add some other images on here. But like I said, when you go to uploads, you can just drag and drop. Maybe I want to, well, that's really big. So nope, I don't want to do, I'm not really sure what happened there. But I mean, you can do like, oh no. So this would be, see, this is, I like what I like, and I'm struggling, Kelly. See, I'm not the Canva person. How does it come forward?
Select it, yeah.
Forward. Okay, thank you. So that's kind of fancy. It's like part wooden planks, part not. Yes, yeah, like that. But once you start to make your own banners and you start to, make your own stuff, you'll figure out what's you, and you'll typically stick to that. And it's a great way to start branding yourself through imagery. So it looks like we have less than a minute, but if you guys have any questions, we will be posting the recording in the team pages so you can rewatch things. And if you have any questions, just comment on it and let us know. And we'd be happy to help you out, give you some answers. And if you have anything that you like and you want to share, feel free to offer that to all of us as well. Sound good?
Thanks, guys. Hope this was helpful. I think at least if it was overwhelming, it'll be a good resource for us all to have and look back on. So
yeah, definitely.
Thanks for hopping on.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.